what's up, man? It's your boy Ashton Jackson, and in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the recent departures from the Dallas Cowboys. So, players that were formerly Dallas Cowboys, where they left, my thoughts and opinions about that, to the recent signings of the Dallas Cowboys, who they brought back, who they recently signed, and 3, how the lack of free agency moves is going to then again cost us down the line, and especially come down towards January. And don't be surprised in what might seem and what will be seemed as in the media as disappointment for Dallas Cowboy fans. But if you just accept the fact now, you won't be heartbroken come December, January, things of that nature. So before we get into the video, I appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content. And about the recent free agents that were going to be upcoming for the Dallas Cowboys, and we did say that there was going to be a lot of free agents coming to the Dallas Cowboys that were, Dallas Cowboy free agents that they're possibly not going to be returning, or you can see a lot of guys who are potentially going to be leaving. Some guys we expect to come back, but a lot of guys that do leave, don't be surprised if they go to a certain team. And that certain team was Washington because of Dan Quinn being there. And Washington ended up getting 3 of our guys. He ended up signing Dante Fowler. He was there on a 1-year deal. Certain contracts about the amount of dollars, total guaranteed at signing, and things of that nature hasn't came out just yet for Dante Fowler. But I saw that move being made just because, like I already said, when he was here in Dallas for like the past 2 or 3 years, Dan Quinn was his defensive coordinator. He understands the different schemes and what it takes to succeed in that culture. What it will take and be able to how to win his reps, what it will take for him to be a nice, solid rotational piece. Like, he understands all of that. So for him, he's already used to Dan Quinn and that culture, and that coaching change. And Joe Witt Jr., he's used to all of them. So Dante Fowler switching from where he was in Dallas to Washington, I'm not surprised. Dorrance Armstrong, I'm not surprised neither. He got a really solid and decent bag, 3 years, $33 million a year. He has $22 million guaranteed. Guaranteed at signings, $16 million. And the team in Washington has a potential out in the first year of his contract. Again, another really solid signing by Washington. I'm not really surprised. I saw that happening again. Same thing, same sentiments that came up for Dante Fowler. Just apply that to Dorrance Armstrong. And I didn't think the Dallas Cowboys were going to bring him back, especially at that price tag, just for him to be a rotational pass rusher and not for him to be a full-time pass rusher opposite of D-Law, and for him to be that truly dynamic pass rusher. I didn't see that happening. Tyler Biadasz, I understood that he was going to leave, and I wasn't upset or totally upset with the fact that if he did leave, that the Dallas Cowboys were more than likely going to find his replacement in the first 2 days of the draft, whether that was in round 1, 2, or 3. But hopefully they don't lose Tyron Smith. No news about that has came out that we're going to sign Tyron Smith. He's still currently a free agent, along with Stephon Gilmore, J-Ron Kearse, Jonathan Hankins, and Chuma Edoga. Normally, we don't participate on the first day of free agency. I'm going to talk about that in the latter part of the video. But Tyler Biadasz getting a 3-year deal, $29 million. He is guaranteed at signing $20 million. He is guaranteed $17.7 million at signing, and he has a 2024 cap hit of $4.1 million, and the team has potential out his second year, and that's for the Washington Commanders. Again, not surprised. Nick Gates isn't there anymore, and I believe they had a previous center that was starting over Nick Gates last year, and they released him. So having Tyler Biadasz there in Washington isn't surprising to me at all. Neville Gallimore, he left. He went to Miami on a 1-year deal. Tony Pollard, one of our biggest offensive playmakers, especially last year in 2022 and 23 season, left and went to go take over for Derrick Henry in Tennessee. So with that being said, those were the free agent departures. The players that the Dallas Cowboys did bring back was our long snapper, Trent Sieg. He's back on a 1-year deal. Jordan Lewis is back on a 1-year deal. He's basically 1 year, $3 million. We re-signed CJ Goodwin. That's our special team ace. Hopefully he can come back and fully recover from when he tore his pectoral muscle against the 49ers last year And our big signing, which I'm not surprised about because I did make a video, which I post right here, and I already discussed how Eric Kendricks was basically guaranteed to be a Dallas Cowboy. And the only reason why I even said that was because he has familiarity with our defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer. That's the only reason why I guessed it or whatever the case might be. That's because he's familiar with the scheme, and that will be one less player that the Dallas Cowboys don't have to spend draft capital on to find a replacement for him. I love that we made that move. I love the move that we made so far in terms of bringing back special teammate CJ Goodwin, bringing back our long snapper, bringing back Jordan Lewis, who's a really great cornerback for us at the latter part of that year. He balled out towards the last part of the year. Bringing in Eric Kendricks, we definitely need a linebacker. Yes, he is average. He's really good. He's an average linebacker, but his average is better than 205 Marquise Bell, who, if he was 235, he would be a really great linebacker, but he's just way too light to play linebacker. Damone Clark at 225 is also too light to play linebacker, and he's not super instinctual yet. And DeMarvin Overshown was injured last year, so we don't know what he's going to technically be back coming off of an ACL injury. And those are real hit or miss. Not a whole lot of guys are coming back year one and being difference makers. There's only one of those, that's Adrian Peterson, one of the best backs to ever play in the league. But too many guys come back from ACL injuries don't just come back and are that great. So the third thing I'm going to into the last part of the video is our lack of free agency moves is what's ultimately going to cost us in the end, and it always does. Year after year, they define the term insanity by doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. I talk about this for the past 3 off seasons and the 3 times that it comes down in March. Again, I'm probably going to roll and slow back off of the free agency videos just for the simple fact that we don't participate. I always understood that we never participate on the first day. Again, don't let the Dallas Cowboys fool you and act like we didn't have any money. The Dallas Cowboys can save themselves $24 million by extending Dak Prescott. They can save anywhere from $14 to $17 million if you were to extend CeeDee Lamb. If you wanted to get Michael Parsons out of the way and get his mega contract out the way, you can do that now. You can reconstruct Trayvon Diggs' money basically with a reconstructed contract, meaning they turn a base of that salary into a signing bonus, and they just kick money down the line or down the road to where later down the line we have to take a cap hit on that money, but right now it won't hurt us so we can construct our roster and do a lot of different things to win. Again, if the Dallas Cowboys really wanted to win, they can find a way and do it. But since they're not fully committed to winning, and winning isn't a priority anymore like how it was in 1990, again, I'm not going to go over that entire way in which how, Jerry Jones is, how basically Jerry Jones was broke. I'm not going to go into all that. We already know Jerry Jones' history and why we were so great and why we weren't. And basically we were great, and I think the reason why we still could be great like how we were back then is if the Joneses stay out of the way, they focus about making money and selling jerseys and letting Will McClay be the GM and letting our coaches be the coaches, and we decide who gets on the field, who's out on the field, and things of that nature. I think if the Jones were out of the way, we'd be a lot better ran franchise. But since they want to play Barbie and they want to be the main character, the side character, the supporting character. Those Cowboys and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, they want to play the cap. They want to be GM. They want to be head coach. They want to be defensive coordinator. They want to be a player. They want to do everything they want to do. They're going to be the reason why we're not going to win. And also, we're expecting a lot of our players, our first-year players. So don't forget this 2024 draft class. The reason why we're so critical about our draft class is because that's all what we rely on, and that's our big-time free agency moves. So since we built through the draft, which is really great, you got to do that for sure. If you want to be a contender like the Chiefs, Bills, Niners, Lions, if you want to be a team that competes for decades, you have to draft completely well. We do that really, really well. We only had one bad draft class under Will McClay in the past 10 years, and that was last year's draft class. I'm still holding hope for that draft class because, again, you don't truly pick apart or deconstruct or make fun or clown you can't do anything. You can't critically look at a draft class until their third year of the draft class, until it's been 3 years of them all being in the league. That's when you can fully criticize a draft class and determine whether you had a player that was a bust, a player that was solid, a player that was a star, an all-pro, things of that nature. You know, you can only grade that 3 years into a draft class until you get enough data for you to formulate an opinion and tear down a draft class if you would like. But again, we're going to be relying heavily on the 2024 draft class to come in and be difference makers. Same thing with our 2023 draft class. We got to hope that Mozzie Smith comes in and plays like an 8-year, 9-year veteran, or miraculously becomes and plays like a Vita Vea, who's already been in the league for about 5 or 7 years. Quentin Williams, he's been in the league for about 5 years. Dexter Lawrence, same amount of time, 5 years. You can't expect a second-year player to play like those guys. So not Tyler Biadasz, but Luke Schoonmaker. We can't be expecting him to play like Dalton Kincaid, Travis Kelce, any of those great tight ends are in the league. You can't even expect him to be better than your starter, Jake Ferguson, without him being healthy, him figuring out the offense. He has to work on his hands, his route running. There's a lot of different things he has to do. You have to rely on DeMarvin Overshown to be a linebacker, a starting linebacker, or a rotational linebacker for you in this league. You can't depend on him to do that in his second year, and especially his second year technically will be his first year because he never took any real regular season NFL snaps because he tore his ACL the second week of the preseason. Austin Richards, you're not giving him the keys to be left tackle 1. You're more than likely going to decide to replace him with the first round selection, with that being an offensive tackle. Deuce Vaughn, he's 5'7", 5'5". You know, you really can't expect anything much out of him. He has solid speed and things of that nature, but if you're not going to dedicate a role to him and have a place for him in this offense, he's not going to do anything. Fehoko, our 4th round selection out of San Jose State, Junior Fehoko, you can't expect him to come out the gates fire hot when he's not even guaranteed a roster spot because there's so many defensive ends that we have on the roster. Not currently now, but currently constructed last year. It was very tough for Junior Fehoko to even crack the starting roster. Eric Scott, 6th round, not much film on you. Great measurables and things of that nature, but not guaranteed that you can start. And when you were in the preseason, you were getting cooked up by Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jalen Tolbert, Michael Gallup. You were getting cooked up by those guys. And I'm not saying those are bad players at all, because we're not. But I'm saying that Eric Scott probably wasn't NFL ready last year, so you got to see what he's about. So again, you relying on second-year, third-year players and older veterans to come in and save you, it's going to be tough. You can't rely on a 33, 34-year-old like Stephon Gilmore, Brandon Cooks to always save your season. You know, you got to go out, spend some money. You know, if you want to win, you got to be able to spend money. If you don't want to spend money, you're not going to be able to win. Our recent departures were Dorrance Armstrong, Tyler Biadasz, Tony Pollard, Neville Gallimore, Trent Sig, or he didn't leave, but Dorrance Armstrong, Tyler Biadasz, Tony Pollard, Neville Gallimore, Dante Fowler all left. Dorrance, Tyler, Dante all went to Washington. Tony went to Tennessee. Neville went to Miami. We resigned Trent Sieg, our long snapper, Jordan Lewis, CJ Goodwin, and we picked up and scooped up Eric Kendricks. That's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.